Alright, good morning everybody. Back to the framing process. Now, I got this bottom plate. This is my straight line. That's perfectly square. I put the base bottom plate for this wall, square with that wall. This wall, let's see. Yeah, it's basically there. So that's cool, because we know when we're done, that wall will be straight with this, because I'm going to further this wall out. So we're all squared away. And top board, I've got that in, so because these 2x are going to have to go in kind of pieces. This one's going to be different, but again, I'm not going to do a huge notch. It'll just be attached here. There'll be a space attached there, like so. This one pieced in, that'll be the only full piece in that corner, because we don't really have options. We have to build around what we're working with. But there will be a ledge piece here and a frame out for the window, or not window, but mirror. And this wall will be 1x boards up against the wall. It'll pretty much make up that difference, but this one will be out a little further than this one. Because if you look at the spacing from this line to the wall, it's not exactly the same, you know. Yeah, we got 3 1/4. We got 3, so it'll be what it actually. This one will be tight to the wall, and this one will be shimmed out. At least from the bottom. The top will probably change because there's nothing straight here. It's really like a jigsaw puzzle. You really have to piece things together. So what we're going to do now is fasten this corner. Make sure it's perfectly straight, because if you look at it, not sure if you can notice it, but from about this point, there's a pretty big bow. So a little nifty trick is take some mason line, tack a nail up there, tack a nail down there right on the edge, and throw it up there. And you can bend this board back so it's perfectly straight, where it should be. Fasten the block to the wall and screw right to the block, and then make sure it's straight in the front as well. So when you put a nail, if you want to get both of those, I'll show you. Put it right in the corner, right in that corner, and you'll line it up with this edge all the way down. So when you push it this way, you'll see the line go straight this way. When you push it that way, you'll see the line go straight this way. I'll show you how to do that, because it's important this corner is perfect. Because this will be the edge of tile. The tile will go around. This wall will be based off of this corner, so when any kind of project requires more things to be based off of that, pay more attention, because you'll screw yourself up somewhere else. Let's get into it. All right, so you get your line up there. You want to be able to pull it tight, so keep the other piece of the line out of the way. Come down here, you have a nail in the corner. Just take this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, give or take. Get it off your finger, keep that roll, put it over, and you're gonna pull tight a little bit. Bring it down. This little bundle should lock into itself. There you go, just like so. And then you can bring it tight to the wall again. You want it a little bit off, but whatever little bit off you have, you want it the exact same on top, roughly. And then now, when we stand up, we push this out of the way. Watch what it does. See how it traveled with it for a little bit? That was the bow, and then you can stop there. That's your straight line. You can come off of it the whole way to get that corner exactly where you need it. And same thing on the side. So it's kind of sticking out on the bottom, and right here it just disappears behind the board. So this board has to go back. You see that? It just popped a thread right in the front. So we want to go back with this board as well. So that's how you get a perfectly straight line. It's already level because I leveled the top plate to the bottom plate, but that's how you get a straight line. It's a bit of a pain, but again, this corner is important. So if we're moving it, we really want to get it straight. Once we do that, we can go off everything for a measurement from there on out. Now you can see it's pretty straight all the way down that way, and this way it's pretty straight all the way up, at least till this point. You can see if you just look up, it goes in more. So there was a bow this way, and now there's a bow this way. So one more block up here will correct these issues. Sorry for the shaky camera. There we go. We're double blocked. Now that corner is as straight as can be. We're not going to have any issues there. So now we can build off everything. Measurements going back for level and everything. That'll be just perfect. One little step will save you a lot of headaches. It's best to just always do it. And just to verify, let's make sure it's nice and level, folks. All the way up and all the way down. All right, now you can see the corner. This corner is super tight and secure. I've got screws through the back, bolts through the wall, bolts, Tapcon screws. It's all shimmed out where it's perfectly level and square. All the way up, right? All right, as it should be. Traditionally, they used nails like this called cut nails. These are super tough nail. Focus, fuckface. Focus. These are tough nails, and they go typically right into the mortar line. But they pull off, you know. I mean, the wood pulls off of them. So you really want to use modern fasteners if you can. So now that this wall is all taken care of, basically the whole thing except for some blocking work, which has to be done when I decide the plumbing. Now we can start on this weird wall. All right, we're gonna have to shut these pipes off, because we're going to change this pipe, and I'm going to get out of my way for my framing, because I want to line it up with these studs and screw right to it with blocks. Then I could fur it out super easily and support it. Same thing up there. Anywho, let's go see if this leaks. I know you can't see shit, but there are two valves here. I want to see if they leak. That one felt pretty good, actually. This one feels a little loose on the stem, and it keeps going. Well, no, it just stopped. Okay. Oh, I felt water out of that one. See that drip? Drip. Drip. There you go. So this one's got a little bit of a drip going on. Might be the packing nut. So let's see if I can help you understand this, people. So from this side, see that nut? I don't have a bit, excuse me. That nut. That's the packing nut. Holds everything together. So hopefully we can wrench that down, see if it helps. All right, so it's this nut right here, you see that? There you go. That nut's leaking. So, super basic monkey wrenching kind of operation going on. No, not big enough. Of course, always need another fucking tool. If you get into the trades, you're gonna figure that out. You either always have to go get another tool or you need to buy another tool. So don't ever shy away from it. Just accept it. So now we got a huge fucking wrench on here. Let's get these blocks out of my way. Now you want to get it just on that nut. There we go. We're just on that nut. And we're just going to lift on this end right here a little bit. Just a little bit. That's what's going to tighten it. Now, I felt that moved a decent amount. Excuse the noise. There's no drip in my hand now. That's all I had to do. Just a little bit. Because over the time, expansion, contraction, this is cold, but, you know, we live in the Northeast, so it gets pretty cold here sometimes. So, anyway, and just the usage, the swelling of, there's a grommet inside there. The swelling of that, if that model has that, I don't remember. Whatever. They all have a little bit of a grommet in there. These guys are dry. So now that these are dry, we're going to see right away if those valves shut off completely. There'll be some pressure in here. Let's see, let's get a little bucket. Here we go. Come on, bucket. All right. Now we're acting professional. Just let that come out. It's going to happen. Okay, so that valve does work. At least it seems to. Remember, just tap that out and let it do its thing. If it starts overflowing again, obviously the valve doesn't work that great. Let's try the second one. Ah, it's a little different, isn't it? Slowly, slowly. Okay, so this one is dead as well. Cool. So those valves actually work. Those valves actually work down there. Wow, this thing just can't focus. It's weird. All right, that's cool. So those two we know work for sure. So after, we will just screw these bad boys off. Well, let's see. Yeah. Maybe I got to tighten the hot side a little more. They look like they're off. We'll put bucket. We'll leave the bucket under here regardless. And then we're going to take this pipe off, take all this crap off, start framing this wall the way it needs to be, because there's stuff in my way. So we'll knock off these scotch ends. We'll just screw 2 more on, and after the framing, we'll repipe that the way I want it piped with it coming out. It'll be, I want this over tight here, coming out just on the other side of the new stud that's going to be here. And then the pipe will be coming out the wall, and this, it'll be lower for one, as it should be. And this valve, not this valve, but a valve like it, will be pointed in this direction, but the 3/8 stem will be on top, and the shutoff will be in the front. Everything's easier because every toilet, the connection's up this way. So if this hose just goes straight up, there's no issues. So you don't have to kink a hose or anything stupid. Anyhow, we'll do it that way. You'll see now that those valves work. We'll take off this plumbing, get to this framing, and get this wall squared away in preparation for the next. All right, let's test fit this mirror. Hold on. Nice. Wow. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Alrighty, folks, that is the frame. And obviously you've seen this wall, you've seen this corner that we leveled and squared and had to bring it tighter to the wall because of the connecting for the toilet and everything. So it's real nice now, actually. Got blocks up there, so we got support for all the do-rock concrete board. Everything is super tight, secure, level. Now this is the wall we framed out. Now the new plumbing, there'll be longer chrome nipples here. I know it sounds funny, but that's what they are. There'll be an extension on this pipe all the way across to this side, down, and then out for the toilet. And it's framed for the mirror that you saw me test fit. So pretty cool. There'll be piggyback off of this power, which actually there's two, I forget which wire, one of these wires has two hots, so two breakers connecting it. I might use one. We'll see how it tests properly. For the new outlet here with GFCI. And again, the plumbing is not really an issue. This is our center line for this bad boy because it needs to be dead center. These don't matter so much, but the drain does because we want it straight when it goes in so we can screw it right on nice and secure. And it'll bring the pedestal a little bit away from the wall. I'll probably block this because I think she wants to put some shelving up. And we test fitted, let's see, this exhaust fan here, which has this big LED in it, which is really not that bright. We tested it in here, right where we want to put it, in this bay. And I mean, it's not a true representation because it's so dark in here from all this, you know, there's no stone on the wall. It's going to be white marble looking tile. It's going to be super bright, but it still will be a little dark. So realistically, that will be the light source for this side. And on the same power, we will put a little 4-inch, you know, water rated recessed light in this bay, dead center of the shower. Or probably back a little bit because the shower head will be sticking out a little bit. Sorry, I was off frame. So it'll probably be closer to that side because the shower head will be like a third over, give or take, because she still wants the screen. Plus there's going to be a seat in this corner of the shower. So whoever's sitting's washing, they're not being rained on constantly, you know. They can just hit a switch and bring the nozzle to them, something like so. So that'll be nice. That's about it for today. Tomorrow I'm going to have to finish the framing and furring out, and this takes forever, as you can tell, because there's just so many. There's no playbook here. It's you're making it work for your situation. So I mean, this fucking part right here took 2.5 hours. It was ridiculous. It is what it is. And you know, you got to do it right, because you got to know your clients as well. When they want it done right, you got to do it right. There's no cutting corners if they want it done right. Period. At least that's my opinion. So again, we're gonna have to do this final framing. Obviously, this is some lackluster framing up there by whoever did it. Doesn't matter. We'll make it right. Bring this out. Again, I can't take this wall out, so I'm just going to fur it out here to where it needs to be and just go straight over this. This is not a hindrance at all. It's just stupid looking. So, and then I'm going to, after the framing is all done, we're going to get to work on zip plumbing work, which should be funny because they got cut nails and brackets. That's not how you want to do that. I mean, whatever, you can do whatever you need to do, but I wouldn't do it that way. But this piping's staying. So whatever you do, we're gonna use, I believe there's 3/4 to 1/2 inch. Except these are a compression fitting that they sweated, which is kind of odd, I think. Same thing here. These are compression fitting. You're not supposed to sweat these. There's a tool that locks them on. Whatever, I guess they used what they had. Same thing here, you see that? It'll work just fine, but whatever. I won't be doing it that way. But dead center of the shower will actually be over here, because this was, you know, plumbed in for the old one. So we'll bring it over a little bit, because it's going to be a 3-foot wide shower by roughly 44 inches or something. And then the full height to the ceiling. So again, we'll throw a light over here to get some light on this side, because it will be dark in here. And we'll get to it. There's nothing like a brand new tape measure. Anyone in the comments, tell me exactly what's wrong here. Do. Yeah. Let's see if you're paying attention. All right. Now it's a 2x4 wall. So it was 2x3. And add an inch to it. Now it's 3.5. 2x4. So it's a lot more structured. So now I'm going to do the top of the door piece here along the side of this door, because this jamb is just floating in the air. So the trim's holding it on, and maybe that nail. So yeah, we'll finish up the framing. It's going to be different heights because there's sheetrock up here and not here. So we're going to live with that. We'll still have plenty of strength to screw to. Keep the boards tight to the wall. These walls are way more secure now. I'm trying to flex them. They used to act like a bow and just bounce like crazy. Now they're pretty sweet and solid. So awesome. I'm going to put more blocking here for the sheer fact that we're going to have a seat that kind of folds up, kind of like a, I don't know, it's like 2 chrome poles and a seat that flaps down with kind of a wood, something you'd see like on a nice yacht or something. So I got to make sure there's a lot of blocking support here, because it's, I think, a couple bolts on each rail that holds it on. So I don't want this to have any flex whatsoever, and plenty of support so tiles don't crack when you sit on it, you know, over the years. Sweet. Let's finish this up. All right, everybody, what's up? So we got plumbing today. This is going to be our new shower body. There's one up here. I'll show you, seen it, but anyway, this gets plugged because this would be for like a tub, so we don't need this. Cold side, hot side, and obviously water to the right, to the top. So up above this is the brain. Essentially, this is a diverter. So above this, higher up, there will be the diverter. The diverter does what it says it does. So each one of these settings, as you click it through, throws water here, throws it there. The next one throws it to both, and the same thing on this side. This side we're going to plug because we don't need it. But this side will be out for the little nozzle and the wall frame over here. And this will be up to the waterfall shower head type. So in the wall, a little further, probably a foot or more apart. I'm not too sure yet. You'll see later. We'll put these like so. So obviously you can use these threads if you want, or you can just clean out the inside with a tool like this. And you can solder the pipe right into it. Copper sticks to brass, solder connects them. And then I have the piece up here. Obviously, I'm trying to get it in the frame, sorry. So you can see that. So cold goes in this side, hot on that side. That's capped. Up on the top again. This will be plumbed out, up into the front for a nipple, and the connecting for the hose. This goes straight up and this gets capped. I'm going to put a cap. They didn't have the proper fitting at the depot, so I'm just going to take a small section of pipe, solder that in there, and solder a cap on the end, and there's your cap. It'll be nice, tight, water sealed, look beautiful. Well, you'll never see it, but it'll be nice. So I'm just prepping all this plumbing so I can get this going. Pretty cool, right? Not super complicated. What's very important about shower bodies though, or any plumbing really, when it comes to showers, they come with stuff like this. This is a guide for you. So this goes on here, clicks on this lip. Is supposed to be the finished surface of your tile. So realistically, this would be, I don't have a tape close, but this will be the meat for a ½ inch of this, or a little bit more, will be the meat for your board, and the leftover will be the mortar and tile, right? So whenever you install this, just account for whatever flange, read your manuals. They have them. Everyone comes with a little layout like so. See that? It tells you everything you really need to know. So just go over that real quick if you don't know. And then when you install it, because this has to be basically how this one is, tight against the wall. So I have to go, because it's a 2x3 wall, so I have to go tight to the wall. And if you look down it, you see how it's just, I mean, I can come off the wall a little bit. It's not the end of the world, but it doesn't hurt or help me if I do or don't. So I would probably just go straight to the wall. This is not an exterior wall, so there's no issue for frost getting in here. But again, this plane on the board, you kind of want to keep that. I will put it where this line, the back of here, is flush with the framing. And the rest will be made up with my concrete board, my thin set, and then my tile to make up the rest of this distance. And then it'll be perfect. It's not rocket science. It tells you where cold's going to be, so that's cool. Typically, you want the brand name to be, upright. They're not typically going to put it upside down for you to confuse you. And then also, this helps you. You don't really have to leave this in. I don't see, well, maybe we do. I see screw holes here. Yeah, there's screw holes for the escutcheon plate. So that'll be in, but there's also a threading, so we'll see. Again, it doesn't matter as long as you make this off the template where the tiles are going to be. All right. So anyway, what I was saying was this guy's also a template for when you put your tiles in and your backing board and all that stuff. So you really want to either buy a bit that size or use this as, because you can just pop it right off. Little clips right here. So when you're cutting holes for the tiles, just put that on the tile and take a Sharpie and just, get a nice perfect circle out of it. And cut the line, leave yourself a little room. Don't do everything perfect. Give yourself a little room because life ain't perfect. So we're prepping all the plumbing. Prep all the plumbing pieces. We want to clean everything out. This is going to be up top to a block and a shout for the shower head, and the other one will be over here on another block for the wand. So control, diverter, piping over up to one of these bad boys. Not too high, we don't want to go crazy. And then the other one will be up there, right dead center of the shower. So let me get to clean these pipes, and you can see me sweating things up. You see how I didn't clean it. It's super important. Let me show you this real quick. So when you're sweating pipes, I've told you this before, but in case you haven't seen it, see how perfect that is and it's smooth? You don't want to solder to that because it really has not much to grab. It will work, but it doesn't have much to grab onto. You really want to give it, it's like a paint job, you really want to scuff the surface. So you get in there and you work it around, blow it out. Now look at all that scratching. That's what you want to see. You know, because on a small level, all that little pool of liquid metal that's going to go in there has all these grooves to go in and catch and hook to. If done right, you know, it'll easily last 100 years. And obviously this is threaded and taped, no big deal. Ooh, Mexico. Thank you, brothers. It's good stuff. All right. So again, shower head, nozzle. Get these so you can actually screw them to blocks so they're secure. So when you're putting you're threading your pipe in, imagine this is a pipe with threads on it. When you're threading it in, you can really screw it down without torquing your solder joints or bending pipe or anything silly. And it'll actually hold weight. You see a lot of people do silly shit like this, which was done here. See this pipe? You see how secure that's not? Yeah, that's not how you do it. This guy was pretty secure for the most part because they had these big cut nails, which I won't use. I'm actually going to cut it. Let me show you. So what I'm going to do, instead of taking off these threads that are perfectly fine and they don't leak, I'm going to cut it here, and that's my 3-foot line. That's where everything in the shower is going to be centered. Well, excuse me, 1.5 feet, so 3-foot width shower. So everything is going to be in this center line, like so. So you can see how off it is. So I'm going to take this stud out and move it over, and I'll put it back where I need it after. So I'll cut these two. I'll put 45s going out with an extension, and then go up, and then bam. So we'll have the new shower body. Wrong one. We'll have the new shower body right here where it should be. See how close it is to that stud? So I'm going to get rid of that stud and I'll put it in after. So that's the way you should do it. Anyway, you'll see that. Let me get to prepping all these pieces. Kind of cool. Yeah. Sometimes you have to, well, almost every time you have to. It's good to check them once in a while, see how they still function. This one feels okay. It's going to be a long valve. It's got a lot to push down into that throat. Oh, here you go. You hit the wall there. And it's good to see if you still got a leak. See all that rusty water? I mean, it's back there in the pipe somewhere. There's some bullshit metal going on. That's why you always filter your water, people, especially in the city. It's fucking poison. Got the waste trap. It's pretty cool. A lot of plumbing right here. Let me close this. She does have a curious kitty. Shut everything up. Now we're on the bottom floor. So it's ideal to pop a valve here. All the water will get out of the pipes that we're working on the floor above. If you have the option, you see that? Bye-bye water. All right, after detaching it from the wall, this one clip that was holding it, you can see these pipes are all over the place, so we really got to fasten this properly because these pipes are probably going down this way to connect to those and just hanging in the air, so that ain't good. All right, we got the hot and cold in our center line, all the plumbing cut, cleaned, and lubed in place. Now let's torch it on. I took off the center because it has grommets that I don't know if they want to get hot, so this will get hot. They should be able to take the heat, but I want to go crazy torching it. All right, so I got everything. All this crap on my pipe. Got all set. This thing's solid as a rock. I'm gonna put more bracing down here for these pipes, just because we have the shower body and we have the diverter. All this does is what its name says it does. This is just a cap. I have it here temporarily because I don't want any rocks to fall in there. Because I gotta break out that brick there. I gotta drill up and go over for the shower head, so I don't want anything to get in here and clog it up and damage it. So again, this is a diverter. Sticks out pretty damn far. Like the body sticks out. I don't know. That's the way that's supposed to be, but this one's perfect. I have the guard here telling me that. Now this line back here, after I read instructions better, this is the finish wall, not this. This gets cut off after, so this is it. So I estimated about an inch, ½ inch for the board, another ½ inch or so, probably a little bit more. It doesn't have to be perfect for the mortar and tile, so that'll be perfect for that. Again, this one's sticking out a bit, so I'm gonna have to go over it to see exactly where this needs to be. I might have to sweat that off and put it 45 and bring that back or something. I'm not too sure. I was super frustrated yesterday because the 45s I got from Home Depot were fucking garbage for some reason. And they just, no matter how much I cleaned them, I couldn't get them to slide on a pipe without wedging on there and being stuck. It was a nightmare. So I had to go down to the store, another store, and get a couple of different ones. Got 6 instead, so I wasn't short. Anyhow, I'm going to see how this goes. Because, let's see, if I put my level across it, I got the wall relatively straight where I want it. You can see that should be fine because you see that screw hole and that screw hole down there. There's a plate that screws onto that. And that plate should push against the tile, so that should be fine. And again, these are supposed to be in the same line, so. And this side's capped, because we're just diverting water over here and water up, that's it. All the other function, we don't need it. And it has a function where it's both of these or just one of these, depending on where you click it. So, also this little diagram, depending on where you're at, tells you what stem you're supposed to use or extension for the stem. Yeah, it's a bunch of things involved. Pretty cool though. And the water is on now, but I have these, I think, aspirators. I don't remember what these are called, but these are shut off because that little stem is pointed that way. Once I point it that way, the water pressure's on, so there's pressure to here. But I won't do that, pressurize the whole system until I have all this in and my caps on. And then we'll know we can start closing up the wall safely without any leaks. Let's get on to the rest of the plumbing. All right, that's basically the plumbing. You can see now that's there. I've got the shower head dead center, the chrome one here. What is that, 1 foot? Something that's pretty important. I don't know if everyone does this, but you can't get to this when it's all tiled, right? So you really want to make sure this pipe is perfect. At least the head, the thread. You see how level it is on both sides perfectly? So it's gonna drop perfectly straight. Not every shower head has a pivot on it. So some are fixed. So if you install that is fitting wrong, that pipe will always be off. So keep that in mind. Make sure that is perfect. And I soldered that joint first. I just have 2 joints to solder there, and then all the plumbing is soldered. And then I'll hook up some caps, pressure test everything, get the air out of the system, plug it back up, and we'll know we can start closing walls without any issues. Again, I'm gonna block this real quick. But that's essentially the plumbing. Kind of, you know, not super simple, but not super hard. I wouldn't say most people can do this, but with time, everybody can, of course. It just takes a few runs at soldering. It's super easy once you get the hang of it. And it'll last forever, pretty much. I've never seen a solder joint fail except for like frost getting to the pipe. Any plumbers out there tell me otherwise, I will listen. But there you go. Let's get on to the next. Now I'm gonna go through and flush all these lines out. See all that crap in there? We don't want that crap to go into the new shower head, aerator, or anything like that. So we'll flush these lines out. I'll do this guy, and then I'll do that guy. No leaks anywhere else. I actually forgot to solder this joint, and when I turn it on, it started shooting out. So I had to cut it and put a sleeve and tighten it back on. Silly rabbit. All right, now it's done. So I got the shims back there because I didn't want to add pressure. You don't want to have, when you screw fasteners or anything, you don't want pressure on pipes, because if something does fail, obviously the pressure is going to force it. So all done, plumbed, tested. Everything shoots hard and nice and clean as it should. Everything's straight and square with my center lines. Dead center, so that water head is dead center with that hole right there, which is our drain. Once I drill that out, I'm not gonna put a hole in the floor until I stop working in here as much, but whatever, it'll be done. So awesome, true, tested. Again, if you watch the other clip, this was, I forgot the side of this one joint. I was all done and I turned it on and start, psst, I was like, ah, shit. And then once there's water in there, just take it apart. It's not worth even trying to heat it, because with water in there, it'll never quite get hot enough for the solder to seat in where it needs to. That's why I just cut it, took it out, rethreaded it, soldered it off first, then rethreaded it, or taped it and threaded it and put it on, and then soldered that joint real quick. Nice and done. Super happy. It's a little nerve-wracking. I'm not a plumber, but I know how to plumb, you know what I mean? So I know the processes and how to do it. I wasn't quite sure on the setup of these. Now I'm sure, so everything is just fine. So next, we're gonna clean this bad boy up, and we're gonna start with the getting the fan in and all that jazz, and the electrical box and all the other electrical. Get everything tidied up so we can start closing up these walls. All right. Alrighty, after getting the wood and the framing and the steps in, all the blocking in, got blocking for the new seat that's going to be there. Again, step. I don't know if I'm going to make that higher or not. She wants it kind of low, so maybe I'll keep it there, because it's going to be a glass partition anyway. Anywho, I wired up the lights. These are like those LED ones. You see how thin that is? So you just disconnect them, and when the sheetrock's up, you drill your holes and you just pull the wire through, connect them, and they're done. Got the ceiling fan, all the new wiring for everything. I got the new GFCI. The mirror's gonna be about here, so far enough away. All wired correctly, properly, safely. So the next step after this is gonna be drilling these 2 holes. Let's see, I'll explain this better. So this is a traditional 2x, well, it's supposed to be a 2x10, it's a 2x9, I guess. And we got 2.5 going this way. So that's a pretty meaty board, right? For a floor joist, but These they start 4-inch. That's a lot. You don't need all that, especially the short run we have. So, and I don't want to drill a 4-inch hole in that beam. You see that split already? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this reducer, take it from a 4 to a 3. A lot better drilling a 3-inch hole through 1, 2, and afterward 2, we come down and go up, and that's how we connect it to the exhaust. Going out to the roof, 3 floors up, 2 floors up. And when you're diverting it down, it's gonna add a little bit of pressure, I suppose. Could be wrong in that. So anyway, that's where we're leaving it until we get back. Whoops, don't want to leave that there. Anyway, that's where we're at. Plumbing's all squared away, safe. Everything is super fucking tight. It is on there. Even up here, when you drill a hole, throw a wedge in there, because this will not jingle, jangle, no nothing. There's nothing. There's no rings, there's no pops. When the pressure goes, you're just gonna hear water. You're not gonna hear your pipes. There's dampers you can put in these, but I don't have the situation necessarily in here. I could have, I guess, put a T here, put one right here, one right there, but after testing, there was no clinks, there's no clanks. It just shot water and stopped water, so that's all that matters. So it's pretty cool. It's gonna be way lighter in here when there's tiles in the walls. And again, this is wired up. I just have it disconnected for the moment because I don't want to hear the fan the whole time, because I have it where everything turns on, the fan and the light. So when that light is here, there'll be even more light in here. So it should be pretty bright in here, which is good. We don't want any dark corners or anything. So again, next step will be when I come back, throw that hose in, and then I can start with these floors, at least prepping them. This one is going to be, I don't know if I said this, but I'll say it again. It'll be tar paper, wire mesh, and then self-leveling cement, and that'll be my base to start doing tiles. This side, when I drill the hole, there'll be a drain, and then you put your, you pre-pitch slightly, and then you put your membrane down, which is like a shower pan. It's a membrane these days. Back in the old days, it'd be all lead. So you put the membrane, you pre-pitch, put your membrane, and then I'm going to put a nice 2-inch base, starting 2-inch and tapering down. It's about 1/4 inch per foot. So it'll probably taper from here to there 3/8 of an inch, probably all the way around. It's only a foot, it's 3 feet, so it's 1.5 feet in every direction, except the width is, it's a little wider. It's under 4 feet. It's like 44 or something, if I remember. Whatever. So it'll taper down so much. You got to have a thick enough base for your sand mix, because you want it to be structurally, strong, obviously. But it does need to slope. Everything's going to slope right to the center, just minutely. But the base will go down. I got to get the walls in, and then I'll put the base down actually, because the backing board goes over the membrane. And then I put my sand base down, and then I can start, I do the walls first, and then I do the floor, because you don't want to be dropping mud all over your damn new floor. So anyway, till then, thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. Bye.